Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust, from the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty. This is the show that will help you save and make the most money when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida, Rick Kendrick.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show. My name's Rick Kendrick, and I'm here with my broker, Karey. Karey, how you doing this morning?
Great. Thank you for having me on your show this week.
Well, this is our show, but, you're on the show the most because you know the most, so that's what I say. So I'm just curious, what do you think about the market and how it's going? It's been really strange the last 3 weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we're getting mixed signals from the agents that we know throughout the country in terms of what's going on in their market versus what's happening in ours.
I know I'm busy. It's really great. And all my great team members, they're very busy right now. These guys that we have right now are very experienced. As you well know, is that we go through training every day just to make sure that we're providing the good service that our buyers and sellers need. Right, Karey?
Yeah, we've brought on just an amazing group of folks to help us grow this real estate business.
Yeah, and we don't look for, and I hate to say it, the average agent, because we don't. We're looking for agents who are looking to make a career of this business, and it is changing every day, and so they need to change with the times, and that's what we do. We make sure our buyers and sellers are fully aware of what's happening in the market, right?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in real estate now, especially with what's happening with interest rates and inflation, and there's some things that are happening in the real estate industry just in general, so you got to be able to keep up with everything.
So what's the numbers look like for this week, for the last couple of weeks, really?
So what we're tracking here is the median list price, and also how many months of inventory are there on the market currently. And so in the 4 counties, in our marketplace, and when I say the 4 counties, I mean St. Lucie, Martin, Palm Beach, and Broward County, the inventory is hovering in that 3 to 4 month range.
Which used to be in an average of 6 months, right?
Yeah. So, I would say, back whenever we had the Great Recession, inventory levels were in excess of a year, even up to 2 years in some marketplaces. 6 months of inventory is what real estate agents consider a balanced market. So if there's a month of inventory, less than 6 months, we consider that still a seller's market. So we're still in a very strong seller's market. As far as the median list price, Broward, Martin, and Palm Beach County, we're up in the 6 to 7% year-to-date range. So the median sales price is up over last year.
You don't hear that very much across the United States. I'm telling you right now for a fact. I talked to a guy, he bought a house 10 months ago. I said, Mike, what's it like right now? Do you think you have equity in the house? Oh, man, yeah. I got mortgage people already calling me and saying, why don't you refinance them because I got equity in my house. So it just shows you're living in paradise, I hear.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. And then, of course, St. Lucie is holding its own. So the median list sales price, year to date is up just under 2%.
Wow. And Port St. Lucie, it is really trending north, and spilling over, believe it or not, into Fort Pierce. And Port St. Lucie has a lot of new homes available. That's the reason why we're going to be talking about these moving up or trading up, because a lot of people are looking at selling their place here and moving up to Port St. Lucie and to get a brand new home.
Yeah, and the median sales price year to date in St. Lucie County is $375. So it's still very affordable.
Wow, $375. Those were the good old days in Palm Beach County, but now it's different. So, people are looking up there. I know that I've sold a couple homes up there, brand new houses in that $400,000 range. Very, very, very nice. So, and a lot of them the houses up there do not have a homeowners association.
Yeah, and so the inventory levels, and the average sales price, it varies, based upon where you live. If you live in a community with a homeowners association, maybe you live in a community that has an age restriction, 55 and older. All of these various scenarios do affect the inventory levels and the days on market that you would experience if you decided to put your home on the market. So Rick is willing to come to your home, You can give him a tour of everything that you've done over the years, any improvements that you might have made. And he'll kind of take a look and walk you through what's been happening in your community.
And these upgrades really help out. If you have improved on your kitchen, or you put a pool in, or put a new roof on, these things really enhance the value, especially if you've done something to a roof, because insurance companies, Karey, are getting very sticky about that stuff.
Yeah, insurance is becoming a big problem in the state of Florida.
A couple of years ago, we really were not talking about cash offers. And now it's become a viable situation for a lot of sellers. And then in particular, this market because in Florida, people have accumulated a lot of equity in their property, and they're looking for an alternative way to sell the property quickly and then go out and maybe buy something else, maybe a larger home or a new home, right?
Yeah, so the great thing about, our area in particular is that the increase in our home prices has been exponential, right, over the past several years. So whereas previous to, I'd say, COVID, sellers were much more interested in selling their home traditionally because that enabled them to get top dollar for their home. But because now they have so much equity in their home, a lot of them are considering these cash offers, which typically, will be not at market, maybe 10% discount to market, but they have the equity to give that up and they're doing it for convenience.
The last 3 shows we have mentioned this great new program that we have, which is the cash and sale program. And it's really cool. What we can do is we can get you cash in 3 weeks for your property, get close to market, 80% of your money in your pocket in 3 weeks. And then what we do is turn around, put the house on the market, and get you more money if we can. They're able to get the most amount of money out of their home and be able to get the most money right up front. They want to go out and buy a place, right? So this gives them money right off the bat, gives them leverage to go out and buy another place. And on top of that, get the most amount of money by putting it on the market. And we can sell it within 60 days under that scenario. We have some great institutional investors who are part of this program, and that's what helps us out a lot. And on top of that program that we have, of course, our guaranteed sale program and also our traditional sale program. So sellers, just understand, you are looking for certainty in this market. We can provide it with a traditional sale, a guaranteed sale, and of course the cash program. So with that in mind, 6 mistakes to avoid when trading up to a larger home or a new home. Karey, this is going to be a good one. We're going to dig into that in a few minutes here, but it is a pleasure to be back on the radio with our listeners today. What a great opportunity we have. We're out there every day meeting buyers and sellers. So if you're thinking about maybe making a move or you're thinking about making a purchase, we'd love for you to give us a call. My name is Rick Kendrick, 561-901-3333. That's 561-901-3333 or rickhasthebuyers.com. After the break, Karey and I will dive into the 6 mistakes to avoid when trading up to a larger home or a new home. We'll be right back.
To schedule an appointment with Rick Kendrick to help you buy or sell your home, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Rick will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.
I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, I'm not really crazy about the real estate agent I'm using. Can you suggest anybody? Hi, it's Jennifer. Of course I can. My friend, Rick Kendrick, from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida. And you're like, well, why Rick? Let me put it to you this way. Rick is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell your home at a price and a timeline that you all agreed to, or he'll buy it for cash. For example, take Ann and Toby, okay? They were concerned that the market might shift. They didn't want to risk losing any of the equity they had built in their Port St. Lucie home. So they decided to go ahead and sell. When they learned that Rick sells homes for 5.2% more than the average agent, they hired him almost instantly. Boom! They came away with an extra $26,000 in their pocket. The extra cash allowed Ann and Toby to pay off debt and downsize into a lovely waterfront condo in Stewart. Just another success story for why you should pick Rick Kendrick to be your real estate agent. Give him a call, 561-901-3333, or visit rickhasthebuyers.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Rosemary, branch manager at Cross Country Mortgage in Boca Raton. If you're deciding which lender to trust, whether you're purchasing or refinancing, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Over my 20-year career, I've helped close to 10,000 families buy or refinance the place they call home. Despite what you're hearing about interest rates, you might be surprised at what we can do for you. Let's talk. Call or text me at 954-312-3104 or visit rosemarymortgageteam.com.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home and would like to schedule an appointment with Rick, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, Rick Kendrick.
Hey, welcome back, folks. In this segment, we're going to be talking about those big 6 mistakes to avoid when trading up to a new or larger home. And honestly, in our area, a lot of people have built up to a lot of equity in their home, and they're looking to trade up, maybe because they've added a few kids to the house, a few dogs, or even the fact is that they just want something brand spanking new. Right, Karey?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so the purpose behind discussing this today really is that it's different than whenever you're purchasing a home for the first time. There's considerations that you need to take into account in advance of planning this move, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're either owning two homes and you're having to pay two mortgages, or you have to move twice, which can be very inconvenient.
Strategies are important here. That's the reason why you need to pick the right agent. Now, I like to brag about myself a lot, but, we have become very familiar with the situation. Right, Karey? We have a lot of people who come in and say, hey, Rick, I want to go ahead and sell, but you know what? I'm very nervous about that because it might be out of a house. But we can accommodate our sellers today, especially in this market, be able to get them, into something new and also be able to sell their place for the most amount of money, right?
Yeah, and I think that that's what most homeowners are concerned with, right? Like they may want to make a move, but they're concerned, hey, if I put my house on the market, where am I going to go?
Right. And here's the thing. That's the reason why I need to come out there and take a look at the property, right? They're going to be looking at their house and say, well, you know what? I need to put in a new floor. Or I need to upgrade the kitchen. You may not need to do that stuff. That's the reason why it's good for me to just come by and save you some money. But more importantly, what we're going to do is that we're going to sit down and show you the bottom line number, because that's what counts in finding a new place. Right, Karey?
Yeah, without a doubt. And you need to put a plan together for, what is it that you're looking for in your next home? Because likely the home that you're going to be purchasing may not be on the market right now because there's so low inventory. So it's important for the agent that you decide to work with that they know exactly what you had in mind, all right? Because if that home happens to hit the market, you're going to want to be in the best position to move quickly before it sells to another buyer.
We do have this buyer profile system too, that before they even put their house on the market, we may have a buyer in our database. We have about 20,000 people out there really looking for a home.
And if there's a specific community that somebody is interested in, we'll actually spend our money to go into that community and canvass it, right?
What do you mean by canvass it?
I mean, reach out to all the homeowners within that community and see if there is somebody that lives there that is interested in potentially selling.
Don't get nervous about this. This is something that I do every day. And I know, and a lot of sellers will be looking at me and go, are you serious? You really can do this? And I say, I do it all the time. It's a natural to me. I mean, I can get them 60, 90, 120 days in their house. They can get their cash right up front and they can get out there and start looking. By the way, sellers, when you start looking for a property, if you're looking at a particular house and they're selling this house, that seller will not seriously consider you unless your place is on the market or it has been sold. Right, Karey?
Yeah, and I'd say that is definitely something that is on our list here, is not selling first. Right? So you do want to put a plan in place so that you can get your property either sold, get your cash in hand, and then do a post-occupancy where the buyer will allow you to stay in your home for 60, 90 days after closing. And that way, if the perfect home does come on the market, you're going to have the cash in hand to be able to go in with a very strong offer.
And also, we want to make it as comfortable for the seller as we can, because it can be a very stressful thing. You're selling, you're buying, you're moving your family somewhere where they've never been before. You want to make sure you got the right neighborhood. We can even put a contingency clause in there to protect the buyer and the seller as far as the houses are concerned. Correct, Karey?
Yeah, that's definitely an option. So either what we're talking about here is you either go ahead and close on your home, you have the cash in hand, and then you go find a home, or you go ahead and put your home on the market, you get it under contract, and then we just make sure that we include a contingency in there that will allow you enough time to go find a new home.
The other major thing, very, very first step is you need to get together with a lender. Now, our lender that we use is Cross Country Mortgage. These guys, we've been working with them for 7, 8 years now. And they are excellent. We put together our strategy and I go to them and say, listen, here's what we want to do. They need to get pre-approved for about $600,000. So what we want to do is make sure they're going to have enough money in their pocket. And number two, they can get pre-approved before we get out there and start getting excited about a house, right?
Yeah. So, we hate to put our buyers in the situation where they fall in love with a home and we don't have all of our ducks in a row. We want to put you in the best position possible so that, again, when you do find the home of your dreams, you're in the best position possible to go after it.
We really, really want to stay away from this catch-22 situation. The catch-22 situation is that you own a house and you go buy another house. That means you have two mortgages. So we want to make sure everything goes smoothly. Typically what we do is this. When you sell your place, we want you to close that morning on your place. And conveniently, what you do is that afternoon, you purchase your new home. This is a process that we've learned over the years that makes everybody a lot happier, because really you're just taking the money that you've made on your place and moved it into your new home, right?
Yeah, so again, if that's something that you're comfortable doing, right, closing on your new home in the afternoon, closing on the home you're living in the morning, we can certainly have that arranged. Or, as mentioned earlier, if you'd rather close, have some time afterwards to make the move, all things that we can negotiate.
But I say, you got to sit down and do a strategy to this. Call an agent that you can rely on. I suggest that you do your homework on agents too, because a lot of agents are not experienced at this situation as far as buying and selling. You need a team behind you to do this, and that's what we have. Is we have a team, not only a closing coordinator, but a listing coordinator. And we run through this process all through from the sell to your purchase.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who we need to coordinate with, right, through these two moves. We've got our mortgage lender, we've got appraisers, lawyers, title companies, home inspectors, any repairs that need to be taken care of before closing. All of that stuff needs to be managed.
And only a team can do that. It's very hard to see. I don't know how agents do it on a basis that they're a single agent, meaning that they're the only person bobbling all the balls here, because this is really think about this. This is a lot of money in your pocket, number one. Number two, this is your most important investment in your life. You want to be making the right decision because you're moving your family from point A to point B.
Yeah, and the process could be, between 21 to 45 days, right? So that's a long time when you're under this sort of stress that comes along with moving. So hiring somebody who has a dedicated person in their office that is going to be helping you through that process to make sure that no deadlines are missed and that everything is in order, all the paperwork's tended to. You really want to ensure that you're dealing with somebody who's going to have somebody that's going to be your point person.
Listen, I have some free information for you. Okay, what you can do is either text me at 561-901-3333 or rickhasthebuyers.com. I'm going to send you a free brochure. It says 10 questions to ask an agent before you hire them. These are critical questions that are very, very important. You want to know as much about that agent as you can. Not only that, but you want to get references. You need to Google them, see how many 5-star reviews they have. You need to see where they're at. Are they part-time or are they full-time? These are all key items to make sure the move that you're going to do is going to be successful and rewarding to you and your family. So, Karey, do you have anything to add about the selection of an agent? You think that's kind of like a big thing?
Yeah, I think that there's a tendency for folks out there to just basically go with the first person that they meet, and that might not be good for your pocketbook.
Not a friend, maybe? How about a friend?
A friend or a family member who maybe just got their real estate license, who hasn't sold a home yet.
Beware of that, okay? So just be careful of that. Not saying that they're good or bad, but, friends sometimes when you're doing business like to interfere in that. So just make sure it's all business and they clearly understand you're here to make a move for your family and you want it to be top notch.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more involved to selling homes than most folks realize when they first get into the business. So you just want to make sure that you have, some questions handy. I would encourage anyone listening to interview, like Rick suggests. He's willing to send you out this free report on questions that you can ask. And don't be afraid to interview, have a couple people over. Everybody's going to have a different style, right? And you may be more comfortable with one person than the other.
Don't do just one, right? Interview agents, right? And I say, hey, I want to be one of them. I know my business, and I don't mind getting out there and showing my wares and making sure they understand the process that goes through. Through these 10 questions, you'll clearly see what questions to ask an agent and see where his experience lies. So, hey, listen, after the break, let's talk about our featured listing of the week, our buyers in waiting program, talk a little bit about your home sold guarantee realty Go Serve Big Mission. This is Rick Kendrick and Karey Kendrick. We'll be right back.
To schedule an appointment with Rick Kendrick to help you buy or sell your home, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Rick will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.
Hi, it's Jennifer Ross, and if you've been thinking about selling your home, you already know that the only agent that I would recommend to you is my friend Rick Kendrick. He's a broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty of Florida. Now, what about the listener who would love Rick to sell but doesn't want to deal with the headaches of cleaning, staging, holding open houses, and all that other stuff?
Well, Jen, we have the perfect solution. First of all, we always like to make our traditional home selling process stress-free, but for the listener who doesn't want to fix up their place, who has inherited a home, or simply wants a fast, hassle-free sale, sale, we can make them an immediate cash offer. And for that seller to get the most amount of money for their home.
Come on, you can do that?
Absolutely, Jen. We'll come right over, appraise a home, make you a fast, fair cash offer, and close as little as 3 weeks.
Cash in your hand, hard to beat it. Call Rick Kendrick right now, 561-901-3333. That's 561-901-3333. Or visit rickhasthebuyers.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Rosemary, branch manager at Cross Country Mortgage in Boca Raton. If you're deciding which lender to trust, whether you're purchasing or refinancing, I would love the opportunity to work with you. Over my 20-year career, I've helped close to 10,000 families buy or refinance the place they call home. Despite what you're hearing about interest rates, you might be surprised at what we can do for you. Let's talk. Call or text me at 954-312-3104 or visit rosemarymortgageteam.com.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home and would like to schedule an appointment with Rick, call 561-901-3333 or go to rickhasthebuyers.com. Now, back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, Rick Kendrick.
Okay, this is our final segment of the show. We're going to be highlighting our key listings, which we do on a weekly basis. So listeners, if you're considering making a move or you have an interest in having your home featured on our radio show, we'd love to discuss it with you. So we have a new home coming on the market in the popular area of Delray Beach. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It's in the west end of Delray. And I'm going to tell you, again, finding a home in this price range is very hard. Our price on this is $375,000. And I'll tell you for a fact, if you have an interest in this or you know somebody's looking to make a purchase, it's a great home. It needs a little TLC, but it's ready to go. Also, with buyers in waiting, we also highlight our buyer of the week. This week we met with 7 buyers that have been pre-approved, ready to go. Again, we got buyers out there who are looking for a place, right, Karey?
Yeah, we do. And the great thing about our buyers in waiting program is that we actually meet face-to-face with buyers, okay? And we sit them down and we go through what it is that they're looking for in their next home.
We do not want to bring a buyer into a seller's place and they get excited about it and they can't afford it. I've met too many lenders out there that do not get them pre-approved or fully qualified, ready to roll. That's the reason why we work with Cross Country, because they actually put them through that first stage of underwriting and make sure everything is good so we know exactly what they can afford. Again, it's a key thing because then we can tailor-made all the houses that we're going to be showing them or to their price range. So just to let you know, they're all fully approved. They're ready to go, totally flexible in their closing date. So if you're considering a move but concerned about where you'll go, we have a close and stay program.
Yeah, so that basically just allows a seller to stay in the home post-closing, all right? And so that'll give them the flexibility that they need to go find their next home.
So a buyer that I'm thinking of right now, we have a buyer that's in that $600,000 range, been pre-approved, can put 20% down. He's looking in that Delray area. So if you guys got something that you're thinking of that you may want to, put it on the market, maybe you ought to give me a call at 561-901-3333, 561-901-33, or rickhasthebuyers.com. I'll come over, take a look at it. If this fits his criteria, I would love to set up a time for him to come over and take a look at it. So, Karey, tell us a little bit about the Go Serve Big Mission.
So Rick and I donate a portion of the proceeds from home sales to local charities in the Southeast area. The two that we most often mention on the show are the Law Enforcement Assistance Foundation, and they provide financial assistance to officers and their families who have been hurt in the line of duty. So that's a great one that we love to bring to your attention. If you'd like to look them up online, they're a great organization. And then, of course, Little Smiles, we do support them as well. They provide fun things for kids in our area that are going through hard times. So right now, now we're in the final quarter of the year. And so what do we all have in our minds? The holidays. So we're actually just now starting our toy drive. So we're collecting toys for the kids. So if you're out there and you'd like to participate in that program, feel free to, text Rick and we'd be happy to arrange a pickup so that we can get more toys to the kids.
Karey, here's the thing. I know for a fact that a lot of people, a lot of buyers and sellers are a little hesitant calling real estate agents because they're afraid they're going to swarm over them. I truly believe you got to get to know me just like I got to get to know you. Even if you're not really thinking about doing something right now, that doesn't matter. You need to put together a plan. I'd rather have an idea of what you're going to be doing in the next 3 or 4 months instead of doing something in the next 30 days. So if it's in your mind one way or another that you're thinking about doing either purchasing or selling, give me a call. Let's have a 5 or 10 minute conversation. It's no charge. We're free. And we'll be able to sit down with you and kind of go over the details and sit down with you and kind of go over a plan as far as purchasing or selling a home. How's that sound, Karey? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I think planning in advance of a potential move is always a great idea, especially for those of you out there listening who might be renters right now and you're interested in potentially buying your first home. The farther in advance we can meet with you and sit down and put a plan in place, the better off you're going to be, because at some point or the other, your landlord is going to start pressuring you to renew the lease. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're doing something last minute under the gun. So the farther in advance you can plan it out, the better.
We've seen that many times. They've called us and said, hey, listen, I just got a renewal notice on my rental that I'm living in right now, and they're jumping it from $2,000 a month to $2,700 a month. That happened just last week. He says, I got to find me something. I said, well, okay, well, let's get out there and start looking. And so it is one of those things. Usually you'll get a renewal notice like in 90 days. As soon as you get that and you say, listen, I've had enough of this, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you out at 561-901-3333. And believe me, buyers, I can get you the price you're looking for, and also might be able to get you some buyer concessions with some free consumer benefits. Every buyer that works with us, we'll give them a 24-month guarantee. If they're not happy with that house they purchased in 24 months, listen, I'll sell it for free. More importantly, I'll get them a 12-month home warranty to cover all their appliances for the next 12 months. You're under no obligation. Anytime you're not happy with my services, you just let me know, and we'll go our separate ways. Thank you for taking time to listen to us today. This is Rick Kendrick, your home sold guaranteed realty, serving Southeast Florida coast. Our network extends across the country and Canada. Call me or text me at 561-901-3333. I'd like to thank Karey again for coming on. She really does have a lot of information. I tell you, it's good to have somebody that knows what they're talking about all the time. So listen, we look forward to seeing you next week. Tune in every Sunday at 10 a.m. at 850 WFTL News Talk Radio.
You've been listening to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show with broker-owner Rick Kendrick. Heard every Sunday morning here on News Talk 850 WFTL. Rick's company name is his promise, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. To speak directly to Rick about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment, 561-901-3333, or visit rickhasthebuyers.com. And mark your calendar to join Rick again next week at the same time for the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on News Talk 850 WFTL.